All right, so I want to talk a little bit about what David L Thompson was addressing on the Facebook group here. What we've got is the bags installed. Now what I've done is I've taken this, taken the bags, put them on the bike, mocked them up, pretty much cinched them down, but the adjusters are still a little loose, and I've stuffed them with beach towels, some of them over there, just to give them some, mass so we can see what's going on. So what's going on here is people are talking about these bags sagging down here and the proximity of the exhaust being a concern. Let's be exact with what's going on the bike. So here's our exhaust. You can kind of see here the edge. So yeah, I'd say about 3 inches there. The center part here might sag down a little, but this is really what we're concerned about. And there we've got 3 inches. Over on this side, it's about 3 inches, maybe 2 3/4 of space, which this, in my mind, this is just fine. I don't think we're going to be getting, so there's going to be air flowing through here when you're riding. I don't see this melting. It's certainly not going to touch. But that's because we've done what David said, was we've just loosened this, and I just pulled off the bracket here. And if you see just the weight, just the weight of the muffler here, we're not lowering the pipe, maybe 1/8 of an inch, not even that much. Certainly not low enough to scrape or do anything weird. But this change of an angle here is enough to make that space. So that's the reason for the bracket. So all I did was loosen this bolt here on the clamp, and now we can mock up and look at our bracket and just see how long it needs to be. All right. So in David's video, he makes a bracket to lower the exhaust. And so what we're going to do is make the same bracket, albeit a little skinnier, out of this old valve adjust tool. I don't actually use these valve adjust tools. I ordered this set off of Amazon. It's made out of steel. It's mild steel. It'll be perfect for this bracket, and we'll spray it later with some Rust-Oleum. You could also use, if you're concerned about heat, you could use some of the 400-degree engine paint. That would work good too. When I do my valve adjusts, as you've seen in the video, I like using an offset box wrench, kind of a specialty wrench. And it looks like this. It's this guy right here. So I don't actually use this tool. I think this is going to be a great steel for the bracket. So what we're going to do is drill the first hole, cut it with the angle grinder, mock it up on the bike, take a look at just how much drop we need, because as I was showing you earlier, I don't think we're going to need much. Okay, so this looks kind of goofy, but here's our valve adjust tool mocked up on the bike, and I've drilled one hole here. That's going to be the start of the bracket. It's going to look like that. I got this aligned pretty much in the center here. You see I got a Q-tip with some paint. Now what we do is we do our final check. Is this the height we want? And I'm pretty satisfied with that. I don't think that's going to come down. Even with a little bit of sag, I don't think we're going to be anywhere near touching that. That's pretty good clearance, I think. So we're going to go ahead and call that good, because I want to lower this as little as possible. So I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to put it through the back here, and it's just going to serve as a rough mark of where we want. I'll just push it up against mark up the bracket, and we're going to have to guesstimate center here. But now we take this. Sorry, it was hard to hold the phone and unbolt that. But now you see here, I've got this, and we've marked it here. That was a test drill hole from earlier. It doesn't go very far. Got a little spot. And then I can cut this if I want to size. So we're going to go ahead and drill a hole right at that black center, that black paint. and then mock it up and draw some lines on it to cut it with the grinding wheel. Okay, test holes are drilled. As you can see what this is going to look like mocked up on the bike. And what we're going to do now is mark this and cut it, and then mark this and cut it. So we've got a nice looking bracket that after it won't even be visible. I'm going to cut it along this angle here and shorten this up. We're going to spray it Rust-Oleum black, and you know, from somebody who didn't know, it's going to look pretty close to factory. There, I don't see any reason why anyone would even notice that. Coming from the back here, our adjustment, you can see what this is going to be. We've got plenty of space, right? I mean, that's plenty of room. It's not gonna, I don't think we're gonna roast anything. The hottest exhaust gases are gonna be coming out this way. Plenty of space, loaded up, and you can see from the back. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and cut that, and then we can talk about bags. Okay, here's the bracket, fitted up, unpainted. Doesn't look too bad. And you can see just a little drop. Loosened this up. Rest of the exhaust, no noticeable drop on it. And then back here, plenty of clearance. So final check, we'll throw a coat of paint on it, eat lunch, and then assemble it. All right, all done. Probably will hit it with, you know, 3 or 4 coats of Rust-Oleum, let it dry overnight at some point to get it really coated well. But as you can see, you know, looking at that, if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't know that that's not a factory bracket. Looks pretty good. And again, just loosen this up, make your bracket however, you know, whatever you want it to be for lowering. But for me, for use with the Tusk Pilot Panniers, I think that's just fine. Get down low, you can see the clearance. More time. I mean, that is plenty. A little choppiness there with the camera, but see here, that's plenty. So, a lot of room, no big deal. Sorry about the camera choppiness there, but as you can see with my hand, we're good to go. All right. So, time to crack that beer. It is well earned at this point. And then let's get into talking about the bags themselves and my thoughts on ADV luggage.